Welcome back, League fans. Game 3 is on the horizon, and it features top squad Team Liquid Academy versus 100 Thieves, who are fighting to keep their playoff hopes alive. Words are easy. And while Team Liquid sit comfortably at the top of the standings, they have shown weaknesses and are unstable. Not unbeatable, I should say.
Yeah, unstable is a fair word for sure. Team Liquid has this uncanny knack to beat the teams higher than them, but then lose to people lower in the standings.
Right.
It mostly comes down to their scrappy style of play. They skirmish a lot, which creates a lot of volatility in the early and mid game, which sometimes works out well, and they can snowball the game, but it also gives opportunities for weaker opponents to get leads they otherwise should not be able to, where Liquid should be at an advantage.
And Levi on the side of 100 Thieves seems to be well suited to take advantage of some of those opportunities if given the chance.
Yeah, and Levi is known for playing a very carry-oriented style, so the matchup against Team Liquid, as well as the remover of Tracker's Knife, could play to his favor a fair amount. Less vision gives more aggressive junglers a chance to move around the map for ganks, and while the removal of free wards is a direct nerf to Lee Sin, which is kind of one of his signature picks, didn't stop him from playing it and playing it well against Team TSM Academy last night.
Absolutely. Levi does Levi things. That's all you got to expect. So only time will tell now. Let's jump into the starting rosters so we can get the game underway. And on the blue side, it's going to be Team Liquid Academy. That means in the top lane, the man who always goes very hard and ham. It is Viper. Hard in the mid lane, Mickey. Or hard in the jungle, Mickey in mid lane. Shoryu at bot with Joey at support, as always.
And 100 Thieves will be on the red side of this game. In the top lane, it's Kaizen jungling Levi. Mid lane, Linsanity. Bot lane, Rakara and Wyan.
See what these guys have. Will they be of the banner generation? It's starting. Are they a part of that? We've seen, as we said, one game without, one game with. The players actually don't seem too kind of perturbed by it, playing their own game and still playing around it.
Yeah, Moon was definitely more receptive to the change than I think a lot of people would have anticipated from some of these pro players. And then you see CLG going completely against the grain, which I love to see. And hopefully we see teams kind of go for that style. If Baron is so strong, and while Baron plus Banner interaction is strong, why don't you just pick a really snowbally early game team comp so when 20 minutes comes around, you can force. That's kind of what CLG went for.
Absolutely. That safe, secure Baron team doesn't always work, but those things help right now in this 8.4 patch. Viper's Riven getting a little respect. We saw him on that yesterday. The Kha'Zix and the Lee Sin as Levi gets a little love.
Yeah, kind of targeting both teams' signature champions. The Riven pick didn't work out for them yesterday, but they have won enough with it that I can understand the respect band for it. And it is a unique champion, even though they lost yesterday. Viper still had a decent game at the start, so yeah, I don't want to really give that one up to him.
See what they can get here for the 2 or 3 and 3, I should say, on either side. Nidalee, as Levi gets taken out once again. We even saw that a little bit in the LCS. Nidalee making a resurgence here with more assassins and killers in the jungle with less vision. Camille as well, even another jungle ban.
Yeah, potentially a jungle ban.
Potentially, yeah.
Maybe more targeted to the top side. TL, first pick and Sion. Meta has really flipped on its head. We got Skarner first picks, which is still up, by the way, and Sion first picks.
When your Riven mains are becoming Sion mains, what is life?
Who knows, man? That could go support. We saw in the mid lane. Maybe they scrim C9 this week. Who knows?
I could see Mickey taking that to the mid lane for sure. I feel like he's got that style.
He loves roaming.
Yeah.
All down to the bot lane.
Why not? He'd be a big train. Train sound like that?
I think so.
It's a weak train. Tristana locked in for Rakara on the side of 100 Thieves. Ooh, we get the Skarner play in here, so we're going to have fast jungling from Levi, and he can still be a nuisance getting into those lanes fast.
Yeah, a little less of a carry, mechanical, oh my god, look at him go champion, but still the strongest jungler on the patch, so you're happy to see Levi on that. There's also the other build that we haven't seen much in competitive, but you can go Warrior Triforce. So maybe he starts going for that. I mean, Levi does play unbelievably aggressive.
Level that Q.
Just go fight some people. There's less vision. They don't see you coming. Might work out.
You can flash easier, right? Flash out of the fog all the time. Well, every 5 minutes. You got it. Varus locked in here for Shoryu. Pretty safe pick there for the bot lane to keep things going against your Tristana. You can push back, or you can just get pushed in, farm under the turret. Good choice. It's really nice.
Yeah, who knows? Also, will kind of depend on the supports because we might see some range support show up. We saw Bard. That's a pretty strong champion for lane. Team Liquid Academy going with Sejuani, kind of the tried and true jungler, still very powerful in the patch.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier, like all these junglers, and then Sejuani. Yeah, Sejuani's definitely still very viable as Nar gets banned out on the side of 100 Thieves. Team Liquid Academy now. Let's say they already have Shogath. Good bit of tank on the side of 100 Thieves Academy. What do we want to focus? Let's knock down some mid pegs.
Yeah, they could also, I like what they did here with the Nar ban. Yes, that Sion probably is going up to the top side, but don't assume anything. And just make sure you don't get a counter pickup in the top lane. Some people think Cho'Gath is fine to Nar, some people don't. It's one of those contested ones, but does feel like, unless you're a master of that matchup, it probably is pretty Nar favored. So no surprise to see that one taken away. Cassio ban.
Yeah, Insanity getting hit up there. See, Azir still there for him.
Yeah, could go with the Azir. Haven't seen a ton of it.
Nope. No, Azir gets banned away from Mickey. So yeah, that's exactly the other one I would have thought if they didn't. Do have that syndrome for him.
I mean, Mickey with Azir, while it's like a team fight champion generally, people see, he plays it so unbelievably aggressive. It's almost like, yeah, let him have it. He'll shift and shuffle onto your face 10 times in the mid lane. Just have your jungler there to counter gank it. But they don't go for that one.
Oh, support. That'll start out. Yeah, you kind of see, you're like, can we get this? We don't really have initiation right now. He's like, we don't? I have my wall. We're good.
I can push them on top of us.
Yeah, let me go in. Let me go in. I love players like that. Take things into their own hands. Tom Kench Braum. Both good picks. They go with the defensive Braum.
Yep, works pretty well with their comp. Want to stand in front of that Varus. And as a result, you might see the Varus Morgana lane. Pretty deadly lane to play against. You hit an ult, you hit a binding. Morgana walks up with her ult. It's one of those chain CC bot lanes that we've been seeing a little bit. Even the Ashe Bard kind of fit under that situation.
Absolutely. You get slowed, kind of hit confirm for Bard if they can't get away.
Yep.
Things get annoying, and they have locked in the Morgana. Last pick. We know the Sion is now top. No, we don't. Could be mid.
Could be mid still.
Could be mid.
We know it's not support.
We know it's not support. That's exactly what I wanted to say. Where will it go? Joey with the last one, and the Lucian could go mid lane.
Could go top lane.
Could go top lane. Oh, these guys are flexing all over the place. Let's see if they get any gains out of it. 20 seconds on the clock. Wyan now to lock in what it will be in the mid lane. If that's not a Cho mid,
well, true. It could be a Morgana mid too, and a Sion bot and a Lucian top.
We haven't seen Snorgana for so long, dude. Just tormented soil. Snorgana, tormented soil. Push wave. Push wave. Oh, it's the Anivia lockdown on the mid lane. They don't have very much to take down a banner minion if it comes to it. You know?
So I'm interested to see how he builds this, because mana with that tier, you get a lot more of it. A lot more mana in the mid lane. And then we talked about low range mages with a lot of the HP items that are really good on champions, like Abyssal Mask, like Leandri's Torment, like these kind of champions that want to stay in the mix of a fight. Anivia doesn't have super long range. Yes, the Q is very far, but your R and your E you need to get relatively close to. So I would be interested to see if he goes for that kind of build. I would love to see that. But there are a lot of options now in the mid lane.
Pretty volatile squad coming out of Team Liquid here on your...
Hey!
Crazy stuff.
Sion in the mid lane. The Lucian does go top.
Viper taking that aggressive champion to the top side. Mickey going to be shouting at some minions in the mid lane, trying to knock down Linsanity. The first time we're going to be seeing him on the Anivia pick on the mid lane now. As we head into Game 3 of the day here, Week 7 of the Academy League. We're on air, and we are on the Rift, baby.
I like this decision. Feels like Lucian was struggling to Anivia a little bit. Maybe not right away, but later on. And the Sion can just kind of, like you said, E the wave and then roam around. And Anivia is a notoriously poor roamer. So I do like the... I shouldn't say I like the idea.
Doesn't migrate very well.
Yeah. I don't know if I like the what Team Liquid has done from a team comp perspective, but I at least understand, I think, where they're coming from with this idea. Also, Anivia, if you go banner first, it'll be hard for Anivia to wave clear that. And Anivia is mostly known as a great wave clear champion who stalls out mid lane, which is what one of her big strengths is. It's just so hard to break the game open against her. But hey, I got some that don't take damage from AP sources, so great.
Yep. Boom. All right. Eyes on the Spires this game. Eyes on minion dematerializers. DMATs. Are we upgrading our nomenclature?
See, so I like DMATs as a term better, but DMs is funnier.
It's because it hits home.
Yeah.
It is.
Everyone can relate. Even if you don't watch League.
That is, don't be something that kills a meme, though.
That's true.
Right?
You can overdo it.
You can overdo it. The 1+1. Levi starting at red with a little help of Kaizen, as we would expect. Let's see if he heads straight down. Definitely a little quicker here than hard on the top side with the damage coming through.
Yeah, you can expect that Skarner pick to clear a couple seconds faster, get onto that Scuttle Crowd first, make some moves on the map. Mickey playing this very aggressive, getting that auto in against Linsanity, the shout.
Freeze! No damage there. Actually, he gets stuck in those caster minions for quite a bit, so they even out HP on that run over to Wolf Camp. So it looks like a pretty hard clear here from Levi as he goes from camp to camp. They know they're not getting any pressure from the junglers, so they'll wait. He says, on to my spire, please. Come fight me here.
Gonna farm very quickly.
Yep.
Interesting path here after grabbing the wolf, actually cutting into the river to get that Scuttle Crab right away. Make sure he's not gonna get contested on his buffs at all.
Like it.
Nice
Fast
little clear there.
Gets himself back in. Full clear for Levi. Pressure in mid. Linsanity needs to keep himself safe. He can't be calling for help right now, if that's going to happen. Same kind of thing here for Hard. He gets the bot. Doesn't have smite up for these guys, so he's going to wait to just take down big Krugs. Nice and slow. Raptors are still up for him, so he's probably got something to do with those. And Levi may head towards bot side. It doesn't look like they're going to let it bounce off the turret, though, so they stay safe.
Yeah, it's a good decision by Team Liquid Academy's bot lane, not playing super aggressive, actually, despite what many people would say is the better matchup. If you play really aggressive, you end up push down that bot lane. Both junglers start on the top side, and Skarner clears faster. The concern is that you get ganked by a level 4 Skarner 3.5 minutes into the game. Not going to be too fun. So playing it conservatively for a good reason early on.
Ooh. Dang.
There's that Skarner, or Scion mid. People talk about how good it is in the top lane when you can kind of just shout minions at your opponent with Arcade Combat. Even better in the mid lane against a squishy opponent in a shorter lane, so you don't get punished as the immobile champion for being pushed up this far.
He knows this is just the egg break in 0 mana. He actually takes 2 turret shots. He's going to be careful here, as he knows Levi is going to be hungry for that one. Predator as well, so Levi's going to be moving fast here. Not an aftershock Skarner. He is looking to get in and get the kill off the first play.
We'll have to see if he's able to get the kill here. Mickey a little bit too far up in the laning.
Oh! Wow. That was the big flash there. If he actually even got connected with it, that was a catch for Levi. So Predator down and a flash down for Mickey.
And Mickey is one of these players who's clearly one of the most talented players in all of Academy, but has a tendency to make mistakes. And there you see why he's so good. He understands that the Skarner is going to run at him and then shoot a point-blank E. And if he flashes early, Skarner will shoot the E where he flashes too. So he waits for the last possible second for the Skarner to E and then flashes away. Very well played by Mickey. But now he has no flash.
It'll be much easier for Linsanity once he hits 6. He's just like, I need to get these minions cleared right now. An easy back, 34-25. Still some there for Linsanity to clean up, so not behind too much, but Mickey will get it back and TP back to lane. D-Mats still on Joey, but Linsanity using a few to keep that lane pushed up for himself early.
Yeah, and it's understandable, like I said, in certain matchups where you're going to get shoved in a lot to be a little bit more liberal with your usage of them. You're not going to be the one who walks up to minions late game anyways, as a Nivea probably, to use a dematerializer on a banner buffed up Baron Siege creep. So I can understand your mid laner not being the one who's holding on to the charges too much. And as much as that back was kind of forced by Mickey, he did get his tier off that first back. So Linsanity's doing just fine in the matchup.
Makes things quite easy to just keep the Qs flowing in the game. Still has Egg Nivea too, so passive there, as we were saying. Ooh. Comet, though, just wreaking havoc with the extra bits of damage. Out of potions again for the second time. Linsanity's only a quarter done with his teleport and already getting pushed back into his lane. This is rough. As well, Levi's kind of, as we said before, not trying to repair this lane at all. Just kind of stay alive as long as possible. Cheeky little wall. But now Linsanity has to be a little bit more afraid about this lane.
I actually think the way Mickey did that was a little incorrect. Linsanity probably wanted to get egged in that situation because now his HP bar is back up to full, and you don't need to worry about like a dive coming in and then getting egged while you're like in that form. So it's one of those things where you use your passive not as a way to stay alive in a fight, but as a way to regen in lane is a way to think about it. So he does lose that resource. Mickey did force, and he's clearly still pretty healthy in the laning phase, but Linsanity was able to hang around a little bit longer because that happened underneath his own turret with no minions around.
Checking items around the map. Oh, hello. Oh, it's just Wyatt. I was like, whoa. Oh, yeah, that's right. Unsealed Spellbook. Things like that happen now. 3 teleports on the map, though, that means here to start off the game. So if those do come up in the next few minutes, there's a quick play around level 8-9 here that we can see coming in from 100 Thieves. And Levi looking to make a little noise mid lane once again. Predator is up, Predator is on. There's the flash, there's the grab, but it is a tanky Scion. What does he choose to get out of this one? He chooses crowd control, and then the call of his jungler. Mickey alive, the burn is on, but so is the heal. Mickey's gonna live. How about that?
Mickey doesn't even have to trade in his passive form. He gets his W cooldown up just in time. Now the bot lane wants a piece of the action.
They're flashing it. Oh, pie to the face! He lets it hit Rakara. Wyan ducks just short of getting hit himself. And he could have kept the 80 carry alive, but Wyan makes it out.
Whoa, big play there by Team Liquid. They find 3 quick kills up to 1,500 gold lead off a 2v2 in the mid lane.
Yeah.
Starts good for 100 Thieves, but Linsanity does not have the mana to actually combo his skills together here. So the flash ult pulls him in. You see the Q stun, the second stun by Levi there. But then once that's out, it's just auto attacks. If he just could have had an E for the damage, maybe they could have killed him, but not quite the case. Then Levi has his damage cut. He's trying to finish him off. But the Corrupting Pot was ticking against the W cooldown, and because the junglers were showing in the mid lane, this counter pick bot lane of TLA can finally get very aggressive. Not able to dodge out, and Rakara goes down.
Quick moves for TLA to start off early. 3-0, 2K gold lead, and they say, hey, my ult's not even up, but let's dive bot lane. The crowd control is there for Braum, but wait, Hard is here. Teleports are coming in from all over the map, and it's about to be a party on the bot side. Viper's there to look for Rakara. They turn now on to Kaizen, who's very low. Rakara's gonna go down with the culling, and that means they lose Levi. He just got back onto the map. I'm sorry, they lose Kaizen.
Levi's gonna die soon too.
Levi will die soon, who just got back onto the map. I was just a bit ahead of myself.
You are just a prophet, Riv. You saw that play coming. The collapse by Team Liquid Academy, able to answer that dive that was going on in the bot lane.
Why are you standing in that? Ouch.
And that went from bad to worse real quick, from 3-0 to 7-1. Now with 3,000 gold lead, Infernal going to be taken by Team Liquid Academy. And this game is going south quick.
Yeah, what a topsy-turvy start there for 100 Thieves to have so many.
Oh my God.
Gets the flash in with the W. Makes me feel like a little bit of old Scion when you get killed with your shield like that. Quick hit to the ground, almost getting so decimated that he dies, and he does! Tormented Soil does a little bit of extra damage, and even now, bot lane is getting these roams on simple kills around the map, which is just going to escalate things out of control.
We talk about Team Liquid Academy having this crazy scrappy playstyle, and when an enemy team opts into it as well, crazy stuff like this happens. Hard's already collapsing down. They're able to keep Shoryu alive long enough that this dive kills Wyan on its own. The teleport comes in, and then they're split. So Rakara is one of the main damage threats on one side, Hard's on the other. Kaizen's going to die just to Hard being so tanky. Now it's a 1v3 for Levi. Joey's collapsing, has nowhere to go, just runs in circles before dropping.
For a moment, he's there like, is there any better decision? No, there wasn't.
Yeah, you can see almost the thought process in the micro. Just like, where do I go, where do I go? Oh, I'm just dead.
It's always happens. You got to do any scenario possible. It's like, no, they're going to give it over right away. They say, we need Linsanity to be big. This is not going to be Levi's carry. Cinderhulk on that skirmisher still looking for Predator moves, and Flash and his ult being up are going to be huge here for them to just kind of pick apart Team Liquid Academy, because the full-on fights are not in their favor on the side of 100 Thieves right now.
No, absolutely not. Interesting to see Mickey going for the Abyssal Mask first instead of going for the Banner of Command first. Feels strong in the 1v1. Also has a Dark Seal stacking up, so he's a lot stronger than he probably anticipated to be. So if you're that strong, go for a greedier, higher damage build. Don't go for the Banner of Command. You have so much more influence on this map now that you can absolutely destroy Linsanity.
That was the combo. In Linsanity's combo did not affect through the shield of Mickey. They're going to be able to put the damage down, and it looks like they just kind of walk out of the storm. Levi may be able to get an ult in, but they don't have the following damage. He doesn't want to start that fight right now.
No. It was nice of him to get that stun proc, but as soon as he gets it, Levi's like, all right, I'm gone. I was just showing I could do it.
He's still got some camps to clean up. Bottom, then towards the top, but he was just kind of getting denied on his Raptor. So not something you see a lot, that Levi's jungle is being taken away from him. Quick Blade of the Rune King active goes down. The flash for Viper was just used to kill Rikara on the bot side, so we won't have that for this time.
We'll get this opponent's flash, though, set the next one potentially. Press the attack. Lucian doing some work there. You get the auto into your double tap passive, and then makes your Cullen just do that much more damage.
So much focus on Levi's jungle here to start things out of picks and bans. Still a good pick on Skarner, yet it just turns around in that first gank in the mid lane. And usually those are the ganks you see Levi getting away with a sliver of health, doing something crazy. But Mickey made it out with a double kill first blood, and that has just swung things.
Yeah, I actually still would say I liked 100 Thieves draft.
Yeah, absolutely.
But TLA with the counter pick focus, kind of that CLG style that we saw in the last game, just dominate your lanes. They have all three pushing winning lanes with the Sejuani jungle, and you see how devastating that is in the early game.
Hard able to get in between the turret and 100 Thieves now. It just kind of shows you slow loss of map control when really the roams aren't coming yet from Levi or Linsanity. They have to wonder where Mickey is because he has a bit more control over the lane. These little aspects are in favor of Team Liquid here with such a lead to start off 13 minutes in. Could be a TP behind. Not really going to be a thing, though.
Yeah, kind of pinged out there like, oh, they might be able to do this.
I want this. Linsanity says yes, but no. They wait.
Yeah, they can play it slow. You can see they're pressuring all three lanes, so they will take these turrets. No reason to overextend in a situation to go for that.
Good wards forward here for Team Liquid Academy. They know that they can have their bot lane go a little bit harder onto this turret. Good guy, Joey. Free gold down to the bot side. Is Shoryu the only death in the game? Still getting love from his team. It's all right. Can't hate him too much.
Reported
for feeding. 107 to 98. Still Rikara. Pretty good CS for Tristana to get out of lane, even if they are a bit low with how much action was going on down there. Usually you want a few more waves.
Yeah, Rikara, we've kind of been singing his praises all split long as the guy who was holding this team together while waiting for Levi to show up. Also having a decent game with how much attention there's been down there in the bot lane, but Levi has not been able to get off the ground on the Skarner pick. Like you said, first couple ganks did not work out. And now action mid lane.
Corrupted chains of corruption hitting. Oh my word, crowd control. The best CC is death, and that's what they will now give to Agnivia. Linsanity goes down. His plays from the mid will not be helping for the moment. 0-3 and 0 as he still tries to charge up.
And methinks Varus is a good pick in this meta. He has good laning phase, builds Ginsu's Rage Blade for a good one-item power spike, and has an ultimate to start fights out there. So immobile mid lane mage, you go for the pick off on him. This allows you to hopefully take his turret in a second. But instead they have a rotated Rikara in the mid lane. So
that close range Ashe.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. When you want that Ashe pick, yeah, there you
go with the better version of it.
And then one of the most missed ultimates in the game.
I wonder if that's true.
It's up there. Chain of Corruption is absolutely up there as one of the most whiffed ults.
It's funny too because it's such a simple, like, aim it at them, press R, goes pretty quick, like, decent missile speed. But it's just some reason you get so excited when you go for it.
Quick control over Dragon means Team Liquid Academy looks to grab another Infernal here in 5 seconds. They won't find too much pressure from 100 Thieves, and Levi already heading towards the top side of the map.
Yeah, you talk about this game ending quickly as if the kills and turrets weren't enough. Hey, how about an Infernal Dragon? Everyone's going to be happy from that one, aside for Sejuani, I guess. Everyone else that's confused. Hard starting it off, but sure you coming down to help out.
Now we see why they banned the Scion the other game. It's just, it was pretty decent before everything. Now he's great.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because Golden Glue gets all the credit for breaking it out first. Yesterday gets it banned against him, but Mickey's playing it too. I wonder which of the two was the first one to really break that thing out in scrim.
That's true. Very true. Maybe Golden Glue saw it in scrims.
Yes, yeah, who knows? But he gets all the credit because he did it yesterday.
Over the wall, Unbreakable is there, but is it true? stand aside Linsanity to show that he is unbreakable. He gets himself back to safety. Both of those Infernals were picked up, so that extra damage coming through. Soul Shackles completely separating the team, but Joey's also able to get the kill. Very nicely done on to Levi. He is having a rough game right now on the Skarner pickup. And the push won't be too quick here for Team Liquid. A good wave clear on the side of 100 Thieves, but it's only a matter of time before they reach the turret.
And they summoned Shelly as well. They want to keep the siege up in the mid lane. Probably going to be able to grab 2 turrets here off that one pickoff. 100 Thieves just don't have any way to fight. They're 10k gold down. 17 minutes in the game, 2 Infernal Drakes down, a third one on the way. They just have no possible way of fighting here.
What a crazy way to start things off and continue them. How fast can they keep it going is the question. Usually teams can understand, get themselves into a good roll, but know that second tier turrets are a little too far. We don't have that vision. They might be able to lock us up. The team will play around that and keep it going.
And talking about not having vision, Y in there on a bit of a solo warding duty. Still gets out, but Joey just pulls the trigger himself. You see how coordinated Team Liquid are when they decide they want blood. All of them going underneath that turret at the same time. TP comes in, and then it's off for the second turret with the Rift Herald usage in the mid lane. Now it's that awkward moment where you have 2.5 minutes before the next major objective, waiting for that Baron buff to spawn. So you kind of just hang out, keep the pressure up. You have all 3 winning lanes. Get vision control and just hope the enemy team walks a little bit too far forward.
Yep. Like whoever can focus on this part of the game and get to squeeze the most out of it. Super, super good if you're in the lead. Don't let it stall out. Don't let these waves crash into 100 Thieves. Obviously won't make them too strong, but what's the next move? Right now, Team Liquid Academy is pushing up mid to force down bot as the waves are already in order, helping them out quite a bit.
Yeah, they can push in the mid wave so far with the lack of a turret there. Scion's going to take that mid wave. They're going to 3-man the bot lane. They don't have a TP because Viper TP under that turret, so he's going to be split up on the top side here. Kaizen Dove has this teleport, but there's no deep wards here, so they're just going to dive.
Good wall. Stop it hard in his place. Shots from Shoryu still focused onto the turret as YN looks to get that shield up and save a bit of damage. It's only going to take one more wave for that to go down. Mickey in the 1v1 in mid with the split, the 1-1-3 for TLA right now.
And we see the Banner of Command completed on the Morgana pick. Because the AP that it gives, it's actually pretty interesting of an item for mage supports. I mean, we always compare it with tanks because of the resist, but you can build it on, you know, a couple different styles of champions here. And in the bot lane, if early game continues to be super important in the meta, I would not be surprised to see more focus on champions like Morgana, who can build AP, build this item after winning laning phase. Maybe Lulu's come back into the meta, who knows?
I'd love to see that. Let's go. Don't even have Banner up yet. We're 19.5 into the game. They're able to finish that, or Baron up. We have Banners up, I should say. Joey finished that about 18 minutes in. Let's see where they decide to use it already. Down towards that bot side as they continue to push in. Viper setting up dinner for 2 on the top. Kaizen obliges. Viper says, you know, I'm going to stand you up. I'll head out of here. They have good vision that moves up, so if they take kind of a elongated fight, goes coast to coast, they can see through the river, but they can't take it for long. Seems like TLA is always just behind the next door.
Yeah, they do have that pink ward that scouted out Levi as well. Missed clearing that one, so Viper knows that it's not just a date for 2.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, Insanity.
Oh, he walked back into it. He had his team on the top. Few bits of damage. Throws the storm down on himself. Flashes away from hard as he swings the flail and then the glacial prison. They're going to look to scramble up Linsanity on this one. The flash is down, and so is Linsanity. He is not having a good game, and the focus from TLA knows it. They continue to get him.
Ooh, a little bit over-eager there on the side of Shoryu. I was about to say how they still have 1 or 2 engaged tools left up on Team Liquid Academy, so they can force this Baron buff down and still turn off. A lot harder now that Shoryu's ult is down. They're still going to start it off. Levi does not have flash. If they're tracking this one, they should know that there's no way for him to get into the pit, and Mickey just has to stop Levi from getting close. And there he goes.
Right down the train tracks. They have YN on one side. He flashes away, can stand by his team, but he can't get the distance. Actually taking a few turret shots as he gets to his safety. Levi slowed by the shot. What a hit from Mickey to continue one more kill. That's the one they needed to go back to the objective.
Mickey's accuracy with those is pretty crazy. Just doinked Linsanity over and over in the mid lane with it. Now using it for CC to find a pickoff onto the enemy. Jungler, excuse me, no smite available now. There is still a flash feast, so they have to be careful.
They're a magnet to these Qs from Mickey. He hits it over and over again. Hit confirming Joey's Dark Binding. Oh, the Aerie takes him out in the end. The Wyan goes down after getting himself to safety in the previous fight. Now it's the locked up Kaizen. That's the tank. And he is down, as they couldn't even have Levi in this fight from previously going down before.
And during that, two
oh
men
boy.
stay on the Baron. They decide, you need only three men to get the kills. 100 Thieves trying to find a consolation prize. Ricaro wants this, but Joey's here. Not going to get a dragon on Joey's watch.
Joey says, hey, let's share a cup of coffee. Gets over the walls. Oh, he flashes with him. You got to be kidding. Puts himself with Levi. Oh. Up, down, all around. It's the bounce house. But Mickey just kind of a quick pat on the head sets him right back down near the blast cone as he misses the next Q. How are they all over the map every second of the game right now? It's crazy.
Yeah, Hart got the Baron recall off on the top side. He runs down. They're going to grab this Infernal. Excellent timing on the Q by Mickey to really cut Ricaro out of the air from that blast cone. And Joey being an aggressive support that he's known to be, flashing the wall to pick that fight.
These games feel rough. You see, even in that last blue play there, 0 mana. Joey's pushing down mid lane right now. They have so much control that they can just continue.
He's got mana flow banned up right now. Let him go.
He's great. One more ability.
Yeah. Got everything he needs. And they got the Baron creep.
Yep. Baron it up.
Oh, there's the
There
big
he
one.
is.
I wonder if they end the game with that creep.
We're actually going to need to get a wider camera view if we keep having these Baron minions. No, I'm just kidding. We got the view of everything. And there are the kills coming in. Quick work of the defense on the bot side of the map with still 2 minutes left to make work of the Nexus turrets at 19-1.
And this is what we're talking about, Jat and I. Once you take an inhib, it's no longer a need to back off. Look how much damage that creep does. If they can't get to it, you just win the game. So you don't need to take all 3 inhib turrets anymore or anything like that. Just let that thing push on its own. Just protect it.
Honestly, a good thing for Thresh. But you don't pick Thresh just to hook a minion closer to the turret. But I can't think of really anything else. Maybe Talia push. You can get that minion towards the turret. Blitz can hook it, right? But you got to get there all the way with Blitz and hope they're not initiating once your hook is down out of not having that power. And there goes Wyan. He gets taken down as a Nexus to shortly follow after 21-1. Almost a perfect game as Team Liquid Academy take down 100 Thieves.
Holy guacamole, 21-2. That's a lot of kills. And that was a very impressive game by Team Liquid Academy, going for the CLG strategy of win 3 lanes, have one person who can build a banner minion, and then once you get your first Baron buff, end the game. It's the same exact situation.
The amount of control they had from start to finish actually becomes more and more impressive, but then you have to think of kind of how much that 100 Thieves was forced into everything they then had to do almost 10 minutes in. Usually say, oh, you're forced to do things 20 minutes in. You might have an item that's a little better, you're a bit tankier, but they were still recipeing items when continuous fights were being pushed onto them.
And that's what's crazy to me now that I'm thinking about it more. We're talking about all these mid lane changes and how great mages are going to be. Well, the reality is if you don't have time to stack up your tier and get to your 3-item breakpoints, what good are you? We might be ending towards a meta where counter pick is the most important thing. Get winning matchups and just smash as hard as you can, because once you get a Baron buff, the game is ending for the most part.
Absolutely, and that was only, what, 22 minutes into the game, and we'll just go back just shortly before that. TLA's early game, consistent, back and forth as we play this replay.
And like we said, though, it takes 2 to tango. You'll see 100 Thieves are the ones kicking off a lot of these fights. Mickey's so tanky in that mid lane, plus the lack of mana on Linsanity buys enough time for Hart to live. And then with the stun, his shield comes back up. Oh, he turns back around, gets the second kill as well. And off that, felt like 100 Thieves maybe getting a little tilted off that. You can see Hard collapsing. They had a ward to see this coming. They knew the teleports could come in. And there you see a 3v2 dive underneath the turret really early on into the game. This is going to go horribly, horribly wrong and explode that gold lead, or excuse me, kill lead from 3-0 to 7-1. And it did feel like, we said, this was kind of on 100 Thieves who were playing TLA style. We know they love to scrap, and 100 Thieves were the ones starting the fights off.
And that kill there on to Varus was the only one until we saw at the end of the game there during their crazy dive.
Yeah.
But that's how much control they had over the map, consistently pushing in, making sure that either Sion was making a play or they had an idea of where Levi was, so he couldn't actually help make a play with Anivia. With Insanity.
Yeah, it's so crazy to me seeing how this meta might evolve. Sion mid lane, I mean, he just pushes in pretty much everyone. And
we've had it banned, we've had it picked.
Yeah, I don't know what you're going to pick in the mid lane. Do you start picking Lucian in the mid lane or some crazy stuff? Because, I mean, the thing about Sion is he's notorious for just being impossible to shove out a lane. You put him in an even shorter lane, so you don't have that option necessarily.
Do you pick Lucian in the mid lane, or was it picked to be double flexed in a situation that that Team Liquid Academy had, which also probably threw 100 Thieves for a loop?
Yeah, I mean, that's the crazy thing. Team Liquid Academy all split long has been picking absolutely ridiculous stuff. You have no idea what they're going to take in the top lane at any moment. Sion mid lane, no different. They have probably the most flexibility of anyone in the champ select, and sometimes it backfires where they have these really wonky comps, and sometimes it works out great because, hey, as long as you get your first Baron, you win the game.
Well, right now, to hear more about that victory, I'd like to welcome Hard to the broadcast via Skype. Welcome for joining us, and congratulations on the win, man.
Thanks. What's up, guys?
Not much. It seemed like you were a bit of an unsung hero that game with how much attention Sion mid gets and all this stuff, but you were counter ganking Levi all across the map. What's it like playing against him, and how do you feel like you are kind of as a teammate for the rest, just kind of playing back up to all their aggressive play styles?
Playing back up to all the aggressive play styles of my teammates?
Yeah,
is that what you're asking?
Yeah, because Mickey is crazy, Viper's crazy.
Yeah. I don't think it's too hard. Like, for the most part, like, we coordinate like every single fight we take. We usually contest like pretty much everything, so I mean, it's not too bad, I guess. Like, we're usually on the same page, so it's nothing too tough. It's not like they're going out of their way to play aggressive, right?
Right. So even though it looks hectic.
And
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
yeah. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah. And I mean, for the most part, playing against Levi, because there's like two parts to your question, right?
Yep.
Levi's really good, but I think it's pretty easy to like find out the paths of these tank champions, so like Skarner, Sejuani. So we bound out all the carries, and it was like super easy to track them, and I think it was like a pretty simple, straightforward after that.
Interesting. So we've been seeing move on to the mid lane, kind of bans for Sion and now picks for Sion. He's pretty flexible. What do you kind of think of this? Not really say resurgence, but now him coming into maybe top, maybe mid, just being really big bully.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like his E, it just does so much damage, and he like has priority in like every single wave. So he just seems really strong. Yeah.
So kind of comboing with that, we've seen a couple team comps now that are very focused on win lane, win game. You guys also had basically 3 pushing lanes here again, and so we were speculating that the meta is going to evolve to tanks everywhere and like mid laners scaling so that when the Baron becomes on the map, you have the stronger 5v5. But it looks like it's maybe trending the other direction where it's win early game so you can smash and take that Baron buff. What's your take on the meta, and where do you see it going?
I think right now we have like an okay read on the meta. It's kind of weird because every team we play against, they prioritize tanks, right? But I don't know. It seems like carries work for us. Maybe it's because we have like better laners than our opponents, right? So we just get leads from there, and we can contest neutrals or whatever. But I think for the most part, priority lanes makes more sense. If you can win lane, then you're in a good position to take the first Baron buff and just end the game.
All right, and one of the final questions here, looking at who could be some final teams in the playoffs, TLA, FlyQuest, C9, who do you think a fourth could be kind of fitting into that spot?
I think it's actually really close for the 4th spot. Like, Echo Fox is like, they're pretty up there right now, right? I think TSM maybe is, I think TSM and Echo Fox, like, they're very close to each other, I think. I think it's going to be up to those two.
All right. Well, Hard, thank you very much for joining us. Congratulations on the win. A fantastic one at that, and best of luck to you guys moving on.
Thanks so much.
Absolutely. So there is more league action coming up after the break. Game 4 is up next with TSM Academy taking on Echo Fox. Don't go anywhere. That means you, Mark.
I was going to go to the bathroom, but I guess.
He chooses crowd control, and then the call of his jungler, Mickey alive. The burn is on, but
Oh
so is
my
the
God.
heal. Mickey's gonna live. How about that? Be a party in the bot side. Viper's there to look for Rikara. They turn now on to Kaizen, who's very low. Rikara's gonna go down with the culling. Joey says, hey, a share a cup of coffee. Gets over the walls. Oh, he flashes with him. You gotta be kidding. Puts himself with Levi.
Oh.
Up, down, all around. It's the bounce house. And there goes Wyan. He gets taken down as a Nexus to shortly follow after 21-1. Almost a perfect game as Team Liquid Academy